The Epic Games Store made a little bit of history yesterday by kicking off its first ever mega sale. But it seems some publishers are not keen to take part. As part of the 4-week-long sale, Epic is offering $10 off every single game on the store priced over $14. Crucially, Epic explained it would be footing the bill for that promotion, meaning developers' take-home cut would not be impacted by the deal. On the surface, it seems like a win-win for all involved. But some publishers have decided to pull their games from the store for the duration of the sale. Both Vampire: The Masquerade Bloodlines 2 and Oxygen Not Incorporated Loaded were yanked from sale by Paradox Interactive and Cloud Entertainment, with Bloodlines 2 being pulled after the sale went live. Although neither company explained their reasoning, it seems like both were not happy seeing either game discounted this early on. For context, it's common practice for bigger discounts, like the one being offered by Epic, to be applied later into a game's life cycle, convincing players who perhaps still on the fence to jump aboard. Given Bloodlines 2 is only scheduled for a March 2020 release, and is still available to pre-order at full price on other platforms like Steam, and Oxygen Not Incorporated Loot is still in early access, it seems likely that Paradox and Cloud simply do not want to devalue titles that have not even launched yet. Responding to the news, Epic explained it will respect the decision of any company that does not wish to participate in the sale, and will honor all discounted purchases made before Bloodlines 2 was removed. If a developer or publisher chooses to not participate in other sales, we will honor that decision, explained Epic in a statement to Kotaku. Paradox Interactive has chosen to not participate in the Epic Mega Sale, and the game has been temporarily removed from sale. If you have purchased a Vampire: The Masquerade Bloodlines 2 during the period when the discount did apply at the time of checkout, Epic will honor that price. Newsbrief: Half-Life 2 and Portal Richard Quopo has rejoined Valve nearly 2 years after leaving the studio. Quopo departed the company in February 2017, after over a decade at the studio, during which time he worked on a menagerie of popular titles, including Half-Life 2, Episode 1, Episode 2, Portal, and both left for Dead Games. His return was initially spotted by Reddit user Trenchman, who spied Quopo's name in the credits for Valve's latest release Artifact. Trenchman then reached out to Valve boss Gabriel, who replied to confirm the news with Valve's network, confirming the legitimacy of the email. It's unclear what convinced Quopo to return, although it probably has something to do with Half-Life 3. In this 2016 AD Europe session, Bodysoft's Sequirant presents a post-mortem of the meditative action game Soft Body. Virant outlines the process of developing his wish for and weird prototypes into a game that gradually teaches players to do something that feels mentally impossible, controlling 2 things at the same time. It was an insightful talk that's definitely still worth watching, so developers should not miss the opportunity to do so now that it's freely available on the official GD YouTube channel. In addition to this presentation, THEGDC Vault and its accompanying YouTube channel offers numerous other free videos, audio recordings, and slides from many of the recent game developers conference events. And the service offers even more members-only content for GD Vault subscribers. Those who purchased all access passes to recent events, like GD, would already have full access to GD Vault, and interested parties can apply for the individual subscription via a GD Vault subscription page. Group subscriptions are also available. game-related schools and development studios who sign up for DD Vault Studio subscriptions can receive access for their entire office, accompanied by contacting staff via THEGDC Vault Group subscription page. Finally, current subscribers with access issues can contact DD Vault technical support. Regulators in China have approved the monetization of 95 more games, including some from Tencent and NetEase. As reported by Reuters, the latest batch of approvals included 2 titles from NetEase and 1 from Tencent, both of which also had games approved back in January, and takes the total number of approvals since December 20th, 18 to 726. It's welcome news coming off the back of China's lengthy licensing freeze, which prevented developers and publishers from releasing new titles in the country at the bulk of 2018, and resulted in the video game market witnessing its slowest first-half growth in a decade. According to recent reports, the freeze created a backlog of games that Chinese regulators are currently trying to work through. Many all new submissions will not be looked at until those older games have been assessed. Video Game Deep is weekly newsletter from video game industry watcher Simon Carlos, DD, Gamasutra Code Runner, rounding up the best long-read standout articles videos about games every weekend. This week's roundup includes a look at the art-striking Yuppie cycle, an exploration of why Thomas the Tank Engine keeps getting modded into so many games. Please look at Mordhau, God of War's creation, Sable, Vader Immortal, and a whole host of others. Somehow, I have managed to get even more links than normal, and send the newsletter out earlier, so clearly something is going wrong around here. But seriously, thanks to all the great writing and video showcased in the below links, and the creativity coming out of the game biz nowadays, despite the disruption of business model, monetization, and even culture, it's off the charts. Long may it continue. Until next time. Simon, curator. The new Ghost Recon leans into survival and a grim Black Mirror future. Michael McWhirter Polygon article. Ghost Recon Breakpoint will put increased emphasis on survival, pushing the ghosts to their physical limits. Ghost Recon executive producer Nordin Aboud said at a preview event for the game in New York last week. When the ghosts infiltrate the island, their helicopter transport is taken down by swarms of flying drones. What to play? Astrologaster gets top go with Shakespearean era alternative facts. Todd Martin's Lot Times article. Astrologaster, set sometime around 1600, has no business feeling as timely and realistic as it does. A modern video game follows. Astrologaster ultimately shows how little things have changed in 4 centuries or so, especially when it comes to humanity's understanding and acceptance of facts. Synoptica Postmortem, Chomsboto GD YouTube video. In this 2019 GD Postmortem, Unknown Worlds Entertainment's Jonas Boto explains how open development saved Synoptica. Boto explains what open development is, what it means, and how it affects every part of the independent game-making process. Simon, just note, also added to YouTube this week from DD, building games around humor, lessons from the Haunted Island, a frog detective game, the Lemmings classic game Postmortem, among others. Yuppie Cycle makes a unique brand of illustrated horror playable. Devramos Polygon article. It's a shame that legendary horror manga creator Junji Ito never got a chance to work in video games, with Silent Hills being cancelled. I thought do never be able to play a game that implements his trademark storytelling style, that fuses the mundane with grotesque horror. BUTYUPPI Cycle, a first job survival horror game out now on Steam, looks and plays like the next best thing. Talking about tiny games, and signal you to video. If you have followed this channel for any amount of time, you know that I like small, weird, quirky games, and there are so many out there. And you would think that would mean we do have coverage of small games for days. But we do not, and so I wanted to take some time to talk about why over 150 riot employees were called to protest forced arbitration and sexist culture. Cecilia D. Anastasio Nathan Grayson Kataku article. Over 150 discontented riot claims employees were out of the League of Legends publishers' offices in Los Angeles today to protest the company's stance on forced arbitration. Standing in a parking lot on Riot's campus, employees held picket signs and gave impassioned speeches. Can an art collective become the Disney of the experience economy? Rachel Monroe, New York Times article.